Hey guys, this is going to be kind of a long one because I haven't done anything on this game yet. This is a series I've been kind of trying to stay away from the merchandise for, but I found a sale and decided to go gung-ho on it. And then since then, I bought some other things. But it's all official, just so you know, because this game, Plants vs. Zombies, it started out with like no merchandise. It was an insanely popular game. A lot of people played it. It was basically on every system that you could possibly buy it on. And I ended up playing it on PS3, which is a good way to go because there's a lot of extras and stuff by the time it came out. Loved it, of course. I'm now playing Plants vs. Zombies 2, and there's a lot of merchandise for that, like from Connects, and there's figures out, and now they're finally into the merchandising. It's like, hello, because a ton of counterfeiters got in on that boat before they got in. It was kind of a weird scenario where the counterfeiters got in and made a bunch of money off of their license, and they were asked about it before. I remember reading it somewhere that they wanted to get into the merchandising because they saw it selling really well. But the fact that the counterfeiters got there first and they didn't send a cease and desist letter because it's hard to. They were probably all out of China. So there was a bunch of counterfeit merchandise, which kind of set me off on the whole thing anyway, because I wouldn't be able to tell really what was official and what wasn't. But I can kind of tell what the official stuff is. And of course all the official stuff is sold on the Plants vs. Zombies store, but a lot of it now is hard to find. There's a lot of little figures. I haven't really decided whether I'm going to go and get all those because, well, I've got other stuff to get. But let's jump in here. This is Plants vs. Zombies Singing Sunflower. Now I'm going to have to take it out. This I got, this is a ThinkGeek exclusive, and it does have the PopCap license on there. And the thing with this kind of stunk. I moved, as you know, and the ThinkGeek package that had this in it got lost and was sent back to ThinkGeek. And I got the item really at a huge discount, and they were unable to fulfill that again once I sent it back. So it was a bummer, but I ended up finding it again at about the same price, but I paid a little bit more, but it was still not, because like right after that the price jumped to like $25 or something like that. It originally retailed, I think, at like 20, and then obviously it jumped. So here's the side of the box, back of the box. Nothing really special, just official art. And then here's the actual item. Great likeness, very nice item. You guys want to see her dance? Oh yeah, you gotta turn her on. So it's H, L, and off. For the purpose of the video, I'll go H because it's louder. And that's that. So I'll just do the low version so you can see the difference. So it's a little bit quieter. So she dances, it's really cute. Perfect likeness from the game. And the animation is perfect from the game too. Her flowers bounce and her head bobs just like in the game. It's really cute. Not much else to say about that one. If you couldn't really understand the video, or the song, I mean, it's Zombies on Your Lawn from the Plants vs. Zombies soundtrack. I do love the music from that game. It's very odd, isn't it? So that's the first item. We should rebox that. A reboxing video. Okay, next items are again from ThinkGeek. This one is sealed. I'm not going to open it. Peashooter. Lawn ornament. Okay, I remember seeing these and thinking they were pretty lame. For lawn ornament purposes, they are. You can see they're not all that big, and they'd probably get lost in your lawn or trampled on, even as a Halloween display. But as a figure statue, yeah, real nice. How do I know this? Well, I haven't opened this one, but I have opened the zombie. So, just real quick, you can find pictures of how these stack up together, but they were kind of tiny. So it was weird. Like, I understand the lawn ornament thing, being a strategic game based on lawn survival and lawn defense and whatever. But as an actual product, it didn't work all that well. It didn't sell all that well. I got these on clearance. But really, as a figure, these are really nice. And I'll show you the zombie. So here is the box and blah blah blah. So this is Think Geek again. And it comes packed just like a statue would. Excuse me. Let's see. It does not say approved for fun by PopCap. So there's their little seal. That's cool. There's no year on this though. And I fail to remember when it came out. It does say 2013 Plants vs. Zombies, but that's just the copyright. Oh well. Okay, let's dig into this zombie. Okay. So here's the figure. Isn't that great? He's tall, very tall, and his leg's a little wobbly. But other than that, I mean, it's a nice figure, really. The tie is standing out a little bit. It does connect with the figure. It's not fragile. And there's his head, right. He's got little details. I mean, he's definitely a cartoon figure. And his feet are all messed up. Very knobby knee. Look at that, that's awesome. So here's this, and I'm going to compare it with Gaming Heads came out with a statue. And I got number 15. Booyah. And this is well, the packaging is much better, obviously. This is Gaming Heads. So it's very expensive, and it's very heavy, and it's polystone, and you're going to pay for it, right? Interesting. It says the images on the box are of the prototype. Actual product may vary. Not intended for children under 14. I want to read this caption to you because this is hilarious. Zombie. In PopCap's award-winning botanical battle, Plants vs. Zombies, you defend your home against a mob of fun-loving zombies with an arsenal of 26 zombie-zapping plants. In the game, hordes of zombies hobble ominously towards the player's home. If not kept at bay with Peashooters, walnuts, cherry bombs, and more mulchifying plants, these fun-dead fiends will do what all zombies do best: eat your brains. This 13-inch zombie statue comes packed in a faux interior inside a fully colored box with a validation card that ensures your product is genuine. Cast in high-quality polystone, the statue is hand-finished and hand-painted. This is a highly limited edition with only 700 pieces available worldwide. The zombie, which also comes in an exclusive Conehead edition, is the first of 2 pieces Gaming Heads has launched in the Plants vs. Zombies range. Peashooter was the other one. Limited to 750, and I'm not going to try to butcher the artist's name. You can go on the Gaming Heads website and find those guys. So I'm going to go ahead and open that up. First thing you see, I love brains. So another nasty styrofoam unboxing. Sorry guys. Well, I do love styrofoam as a packing material, especially for statues. It's kind of a pain to get out of the box. Okay, so even in the styrofoam, I like Gaming Heads and First 4 Figures, who are essentially the same company from Puzzle Productions. They always have a mold of their styrofoam that includes something of the figure. So let's open this up. And I haven't done much with this yet, so I'm not going to put it all together. He comes on a little base, and I just want to show you the cone. The cone does go on his head. Okay. Let me just take that out because it is something. This is why it's exclusive. So, okay. So that goes on his head, like so. Conehead. Right? Doesn't really stay on there very well. They don't have it. Let me just set this down here. So they don't have it magnetized so it actually kind of stays there, which is a bummer. Well, they got this wrapped on here real tight, which is good because the leg is fragile. Okay, so there's a little bit of velvet on here so it doesn't scratch. Okay, and it just kind of, oh, it is magnetized. Okay, so it can kind of free float on there. Nice. Okay, so let's compare the two. Now look at the paint job on this. It's much more professional. The sculpt is a little better. The sculpt is a little bit different. He's kind of coming for you. He's got a finger down here, but basically it's the same pose, so we can kind of compare, right? So height-wise, the lawn ornament's going to win, right? But sculpt-wise, obviously, Gaming Heads is a much better sculpt and paint job. You can see there's no shading on this character, whereas on this one, there's lots of different shading. And the sculpt is more professional. And the tie is actually free floating, so it can snap off, I'm sure, and break if you hold it wrong, like I'm trying to. So obviously, from a quality standpoint, this one would be cheaper. It's also much lighter. Okay, this one's much more heavy, full of mass. Okay. So there you go. Two zombie figures. So which one do I like better? Obviously the more expensive one. Simply for the shading and the better attention to detail. But I do like the size of the other one. Both are pretty fragile. Here's the base. It does have the handwritten on there. Interesting. I'm going to check this out here a second. It says 15 on my box, but what does that say? Like, is it 17? Or is it weird L10? Either way, it's wrong, so I suppose I should contact him. Maybe. Okay, so it says the Conehead Zombie is exclusive 350 pieces worldwide, so it's much more rare. There's a little peg on there where the zombie's supposed to go. Yeah, I'm going to go ahead and put him on. Let's see. It just slips on there. Very nice. Very nice figure. Put his cone on. Still a little wary of that thing. Just holding him. It is just a magnet after all. It's so funny that just adding a cone on top of his head adds so much defense. He has to get hit by like 10 more P's than normal. It would also be fun if this had detachable pieces, but they left that to a plush, which is fun. Which I don't have here to show you. I do have more to show you though. So there's those huge items. Let me rearrange things a little bit to get to my other figures here. Oh. This is going to be quite a messy thing. Okay. So, after I played the original game, The next one I played in the series was Plants vs. Zombies Garden Warfare. Now I saw this at E3, and I was laughing my butt off. They introduced it as kind of like a Call of Duty. They had a trailer where they kind of, and they're like, oh, this has the Frostbite engine, and this is a really cool game. And then they showed guys running with guns, and then they pulled out, and it said Garden Warfare, and then you could see the zombie, and he comes out, and he's like, brain. It was so hilarious. I don't know if you want to go look up that video, but that was a really great moment where they tricked you thinking it was Call of Duty, because everyone was like, oh, here's the annual Call of Duty, and it was really something genuine and fresh. So I was really excited to play the game. Came out first on Xbox 360, which I was disappointed about because I didn't have Xbox Live, and so I had to wait for the PS3 version that came out. But I'm glad I did. I played the heck out of the game. It's a really dumb game. Like, there's a lot of good strategy involved. It was one of the first like 4-on-4, well, multiplayer third-person shooter, I guess you'd call it. Just multiplayer game that I had played, like totally online, and largely I'd mute everybody because I don't really like that experience. But let's just take a look at these that came out. These are from Diamond Select Toys, and they also came out with some mini mates that I didn't think were nearly as good or nearly worth my money. Here we go. These are the Plants vs. Zombies Garden Warfare figures, and this is the Chompy and the Engineer. And I don't play really as either of these very often, but they are fun to play. There's a lot of little accessories here. He's got his cement gun, and he's got his little remote control, but he doesn't have the little drone, which is a bummer because the drone's pretty cool. And then the Chomper, unfortunately, is like facing the back wall of the packaging, so you can't really see them all that well. But the sculpts are great. The paint job's okay. Obviously, that little remote is going to get lost pretty easily. It says there's an Xbox booster code on the inside of them. Whatever that means. Probably just some special. They're always coming out with hats and glasses and beards and stuff to put on, which is just great to. It's really a lot of fun to go in and customize your figures. So both of these, as it stands, are kind of the original figures in the game, as you see them. So there's nothing customized about them. It's just that kind of a clean slate, which changes, which I found interesting when you go to the Sunflower. It says it on the box as she appears in the game, but then they have the Shadow figure, which is a different. There's several different types that you unlock in the game. They're kind of. It takes a while to unlock them, and they all have different powers, and like you can charge up a shadow shot and whatever. But it also comes with the football player, the All-Star Zombie, and he's got his football gun, which is just great. I love that they took the time to sculpt out the guns because the guns are very fun. And an All-Star is a lot of fun to play, and you can see he's got his little patch of grass in there. So they did a lot of good good sculpts and good detail on these. But the paint jobs do leave a little bit to be desired, but they are complicated. So you really can't ask for much more on something like this. Or I'm sure they weren't really sure if they'd sell all that well. I loved the game, and I love the characters, so I wanted to grab them. Okay, so here's the Cactus. And the Cactus looks really funny because her fire, her spout or her mouth or whatever, is actually an attachment. So in the package it looks off. And it's the camo version of the Cactus. So she's in her camo look, which is fine, I guess. There's a lot of other, there's like a fire cactus and stuff like that you can get to. And then they included the soldier, the foot soldier zombie, which is kind of the mascot of the game. And he has his alternate head, which is a great thing. And then he's got his, I think it was a paintball cannon. And the butt of the gun is actually a boot, which is great. So you can see that. And there's one more. And these are the two I normally play as. So this is probably the best one for me, is the Scientist and the Peashooter. And the Scientist has his crazy ray gun thing, and the Peashooter is actually in Gatling P mode. So that's one of his special powers. He can go into Gatling mode and fire, but he can't move. So there you go. The complete set of Plants vs. Zombies Garden Warfare figures. And that's pretty much all the Plants vs. Zombies stuff I have right now. I know there's a bunch of plushes, and there's all kinds of other stuff. And I'd like to collect maybe one of every figure that you see in the game, but it can get pricey. I think like they wanted something like $30 or $20 for a set of 6 figures that had a few of the plants and I think like a Yeti, and you see a lot of those. So I wasn't too keen on how highly priced they were. But yeah, if they come down or they come out with a cheaper set or something, maybe I'll start getting the figures, because I do like all the characters. They're really well designed. A lot of the figures in Plants vs. or a lot of the characters in Plants vs. Zombies 2 are really great, because all the zombies are related to some time era, and they've added a bunch of new plants based on those too. So anyway, thanks for watching this long, exhaustive video of all the Plants vs. Zombies stuff I had. Thanks for watching, and see you next time.